Yo, what's going on everybody? Dragon Keep here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. We're gonna be doing another what if, but this is what if Stain was Deku's dad. Now, this one's going to be really really strange, so you're definitely gonna wanna smash that like button. Yeah. Anyway, let's get right into the timeline. Now, in this timeline, Deku does have a quirk. But he did notice it for a while. In fact, it first activated when he was 4. Also, before I go on, you'll start to notice that this one's a little more detailed. That's so you guys can get where this is going. Messing up the table here. Anyway, back to the timeline. Deku's sitting in his room, crying. Because he just got bullied by his supposed friend Kachan and 3 other dickwads. Am I allowed to say dickwad? How about D-word wad? Yeah, D-word wad. That just sounds worse. Oh god. Anyway. Deku starts feeling sad, then he starts getting mad, which activates his quirk, a quirk I call Blood Fire. Now, let me explain this quirk. God, this table. Anyway, Deku's quirk works like this. He emits and controls dark red fire, as red as blood. And the strange thing is that it's not only what he produces, it's what he is. In fact, soon you'll see that he sometimes even sweats blood. Yeah, it's creepy. Anyway, back to what I was saying. And at this point, his quirk is unstable. Because Deku accidentally burned his house down. Yeah, bad idea. Well, he didn't know it. Anyway. The heroes came. Whee! They're on time to save little Deku. But, they didn't get enough time to, save his mom. 2 hours later, little Deku wakes up. He goes, where am I? The doctor goes, you're in the hospital. Bill, these pro heroes, Rose moves his hands to all my backtrap and endeavor. Went and saved you. Deku then thinks about it. What? You mean save me? What about Mom? Where's Mom? They soon break the news. They ask Deku where his dad is. And And just like that, Stade appears in a suit, a fake beard, and fake glasses. Now, before I continue, I think I should tell you how Inko and Stade met. Now, he went on the code. Now, Stade was just walking around, looking at heroes, thinking, those guys don't know anything about what it really means to be a hero. And then he bumps into Inko. Well, technically they both bump into each other. They get up, their eyes meet, and they fall in love. You know, all that kind of shit. Dang it! All that kind of stuff. God, this is gonna be bad. Anyway. They start talking. Seems that they both have a lot in common. Inko shows Stade her quirk, and Stade tells her about his quirk since he'd rather not show it. They both have a lot in common. Precisely that they believe that the heroes' society is flawed. I mean, you've seen My Hero Academia. If you haven't, then why are you on this why are you watching this video? Why? Anyway. They soon get married, have a kid, and Stade goes on the cover of... God, what's his name? Let's just call him Mr. Midoriya. Anyway, back to the regular timeline right now. Stade... Mr. Midoriya, which is actually Stade, in you know, disguise. He goes and decides to ask him what's going on. The doctor says, your son was caught in a fire he accidentally started with his quirk. Stade is then shocked. What about my wife? What about Inko? The doctor said, unfortunately, sir, she didn't make it. The doctor then explains to Mr. Midoriya, your Deku's quirk. Mr. Midoriya then says, don't worry. I'll make sure his quirk is in the right hands. Once Mr. Midoriya has gotten Deku, he rushes off with him to his secret base. Deku says, what is this place? Stade, taking off his costume, says, "This is our new home." Deku then says, "Why? Why didn't they save her? They should have gotten here early. Why didn't they get here early?" Stade then looks at his kid. Gets down on both knees. Said, "Listen, kid. Listen, son. This world is pretty good, but the Hero Society is horrible. I'm sure you understand that now." Deku then nods. With his hand on Deku's face, says, "I swear to you, we will make this place great. We will. I'm going to train you, and we're going to show them what a real hero is supposed to do." "11 years pass, and Stade and Deku actually make a few Stade makes the kills. Stade has actually made a few kills. And Deku has actually truly made a costume and trained his quirk. In fact, he's gotten so good at it that he can form a ball of fire with his hands and then shoot it out. Now move it wherever he wants and make it come right back to him. He can also use an ability I call Blood Wall. Basically, he needs to take a running start, wipe the blood sweat from his head, toss it on the ground, and make the fire grow. Once he is escaped, this gives him time to escape. Once he escapes, he can pull it back. Now, back to what I was saying. Deku has actually been given a name by society. Bloodborne. Weird name, I know. Anyway, Deku kills the hero. And some pro heroes will see him and are about to trap him. But then, out of nowhere, Bloodborne appears and performs Blood Wall. Stade and Bloodborne managed to escape using the sewers. Now, keep in mind that this is at nighttime, and Deku still goes to school. school. And Kachan, he's still a bit of a bully because he doesn't know that Deku has a quirk. He just thinks he's the quirkless nobody like in canon. Anyways. Sorry about that. Anyway. They stayed and Bloodborne get back home. Deku then takes off his mask and says, Really? Really, Dad? That was way too close. Stade then says, I was watching. I was perfectly fine. Fine. Deku then says, yeah, perfectly fine to get sent to Tartarus. There is. Stade then says, hey, just because some wannabe hero will shut up doesn't mean I couldn't take him. Go. He then said, Deku then said, well, one of those wannabe heroes happened to be the number 2 hero, Endeavor. Gotta think about these things, Dad. You have to make sure you're good, because perhaps one day I will be taken away by these wannabe losers, and you'll have to save yourself all the time. Speaking of wannabe losers, who'd you kill tonight? Stain then tells him about the killing. Then Deku takes one of his knives, goes to a billboard, looks for the name of who Stain killed, finds the picture, takes the knife, and stabs it. He then looks at it and says, so close to perfect. Oh God. He then looks at his watch and says, oh God, I'm gonna be late for school. He quickly puts on his school uniform, says bye to Dad, and quickly goes to school. Now, that school day is basically like the first day at canon. But he doesn't exactly meet the sludge monster right there. Deku instead goes walking in the nighttime and sees Bakugo with a sludge villain. Enraged, Deku rushes towards the shadow, quickly puts on his Bloodborne outfit, goes towards the sludge villain, sticks his head in there, activates his blood fire quirk, and burns the sludge villain alive. Now, that's what I'm gonna leave it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, then boom! Slap that like button across the face. Make sure to subscribe and hit those notifications so you don't miss any more videos from me. Catch you in the next one. Laters!